What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Efren Tinoco here in North Memphis, parked right outside my humble abode in my ignominious stretch of North McLean Boulevard. I come to tell you what you need to hear and what not what you want to hear. So that makes me your best friend, your new best friend. Are you my best friend? If so, subscribe because I will continue to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So this is a very actually eventful week in world and national affairs, and it serves as the basis for a larger discussion along many threads. Uh, but so right now, I know at least one. I know one person that is mobilizing to be deployed into Eastern Europe in order to go to basically defend Ukraine, supposedly, ostensibly defend Ukraine. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what we're there to do. But anyway, um, but this, why don't I believe it? Because of the Camp Palo Alto in the Mexican state of Tamaulipas, which we claimed was part of Texas, in order to provoke Mexico into war. uh, because of the sabotage of the USS Maine off Havana that was used to provoke Spain into war over Spain's possessions in the Caribbean and Pacific Ocean. Because of the Gulf of Tonkin incident that was used to mobilize U.S. support for the campaign in Vietnam, because of the false yellow cake speech of Colin Powell, um, basically smearing Niger and Iraq into saying that they had something to do with 9/11, and they had the right they had and said that we're going to use this uranium ore to build weapons of mass destruction. We have a history of bullshitting in order to get the war people want. Not people, but the powers that be. And right now, the powers that be are much more powerful than they were in the Gulf of Tonkin incident and in the USS Maine, probably at least as powerful as the forces that drove us to war against Mexico instead of Great Britain over the Oregon Territory, over the southwestern versus the northwestern expansion. Why? Because that was for the expansion of slavery and all that money that was in play for that in their minds. So, we know this happened when the Tennesseans were in charge of the White House. Andrew, not, well, what's his face? I forgot. The guy from Tennessee, in the 1840s. We'll come back to that. But anyway, so, yeah. Right now, the press, including did I forget the unsubstantiated but well communicated substantiation for involvement in Syria and supporting ISIS in Syria, right? ISIS is on our side in Syria. And why is that? Because we wanted our folks, the Saudis, to have their natural gas piped into Europe, over the Mediterranean through Syria, instead of the Iranian natural gas on the other side of the Persian Gulf, through Syria towards Europe. That's what that was all about. What do we care what happens in Syria? That whole thing about the gassing in Duma was BS. Everybody who's Careers have been ruined over that, over substantiated that in the UN as well as the international press, because the people on the ground say, well, there's nobody on the ground is saying that's what happened. It's been well reported that's what that is, because our press are stenographers for the Department of Defense when it's time to go to war and enrich the people who make campaign contributions. Our Senate is for sale, and it's been sold. Our House has been sold, and it's been sold. Steve Cohen, who I agree with on 95% of the things he ever does, much to his credit, I believe, is totally on board with our involvement, our posturing against Russia. We're looking to provoke war against Russia. Why? Because that is the bonanza. That is the bonanza in place. We need a campaign to mobilize and operate in Ukraine, possibly even bomb Ukraine, because the more bombs we throw, the more we had to replenish. Same as in Palestine. They have so much control. See, defense has a lot of control over this. Why? Because they're totally in bed with their girlfriend, the oil industry. And so what better way to disrupt the oil industry than to and raise the price of oil, than not just disrupt the Middle East, but to disrupt Russia. That's right. What if we vandalized their capability of producing oil in northern Siberia over this? Wouldn't that be sweet for American oil producers? What if we had to throw a couple of nuclear weapons out there? Wouldn't that be sweet for all the producers of nuclear weapons that have been not doing something else other than producing nuclear weapons since then? Like just conventional bombs and vehicles and, whatever, bullets, rifles, planes. Those stocks are going up, as are oil stocks. Our gas at the pump is going to be higher. Yes, because of the president, because whoever says the price of oil is not, doesn't have anything to do with the president, is wrong. I agree with the critics of Joe Biden in this, because Joe Biden is hand in glove trying to get us, along with my representative, Steve Cohen. This is bipartisan effort because they have bought. They have the defense industry and the oil industry, maybe less of the oil industry, have bought your representatives in Congress and in the Senate. They create misery and disorder in order for their donors to profit. They're not responding to you. They're responding to their donors. And it won't matter how you vote. It's going to be what you do with your labor and what you do with your money. We're going to explain this in more depth. There is a strike going on at one of my favorite locations of Starbucks, within a 4-mile distance from my house. So, anyhow, consider this. None of the intelligence is compelling. None of the declarations for war are compelling. There has not been a Pearl Harbor moment, nor has there been any kind of smoking gun on the part of the Russians. Right? They are responding to our provocations. Their mobilizations are in response to our provocations. They say, we believe Putin has decided to invade Russia. Serious analysts of Russo and Soviet affairs say there is no reason for Putin to really go through with an attack on Ukraine. and people who I admire and trust say that Ukrainians are unconcerned about an invasion by Russia. Unconcerned on the ground. Unconcerned about an invasion by Russia. Have you heard anybody in Ukraine calling for help? Has there been a call for assistance by the Ukrainian citizens or the Ukrainian media? No. That should tell you something. So right now, Russians, Ukrainians, and our service people are going to die in order to raise the price of oil before it goes obsolete, and to also fund the donors in the military-industrial complex. This is your boy, friend Tinoco, signing off from North Memphis, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.